Hey, my fellow crafters. And how are we today? I'd be doing okay if I had an easier way to collect all of our different crops. And I think we are going to take care of this issue today. We have our cow farm up there, and let's go take a visit to them now that we have wheat. Alright, so in our cow farm, as you can see, all our cows ready to be fed. So we feed these guys. Alright, so once the herd is fed, we take a step back with our wheat, and we hopefully, there they are, we see some of our babies start to fall through. And not falling in. Okay, now with some minor adjustments made to this thing, let's see if we can get it to work proper. Feed cows up top. And babies are small enough to not fall through. Because there won't be a post? Okay, let's try this. Okay, so with our cows being right here, and our house being nearby, we want our food source to be collected right next to the cows, I think. So, I'm going to set up an automatic farm. And what we're going to do is have levels up of crops, and we're going to have a water source activate, and it'll wash out all the crops and bring them down to us, and it'll go into another hopper system that goes into a chest, and we can collect all of the crops that we've grown. So water will pull up the crops and push the items all the way down, and it'll just be an easy collection for us. After that, all we'd have to do is replant the crops ourselves for the next harvest. So I have some items here. So we have some building blocks in our chest, our seeds ready to plant, and the sticky pistons, which will be at the top, and our redstone line will activate those to release the water. But for now, we have a bunch of terraforming to do. I will time lapse that, and I will see you when I'm done. Alright, friends. We have 3 tiers ready to go. Thinking maybe we'll make a 4th. Just so that we have a super collection. But along with this, I'm going to make some nicer walls out of some black stone. And I also am going to use up probably like all of the iron that Pipes and I have. So do me a favor, don't tell him about this. Okay? Don't pass this along. We need 7 hoppers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is for collection. And we crouch. And like I said, there's a little spout there. It's going into the hopper. So everything from this side we put into there. And on this side, math. And on this side, we put the same collection to the other side of the double chest. And so that will put all of our stuff right there. Okie dokie. So this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 8th block, because that is how far water will flow before it's all done. So we don't need to worry about any items getting pushed past. They should all stop right. Actually, they will go right to the end of the water flow. So there is a possibility, if we have too many items, of them overlapping. So I'm going to push everything back and add that extra layer. Corner here. And this is so that our water doesn't push any items off the side. I would like to use walls so water could push the items in between the wall. There's a little space between the wall and the water, so then they won't get all the way to the collection. So we need to have a solid block, and then we can fancy up the tops. Because we know water will stop at 8 blocks. So we go 1, 2, so then we want them to stop here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this will be 8. Right, so our next tier, knowing that water will go 8 blocks, we want this to go 7, so that the 8th block, it'll drop down and continue its flow. So 1, 2, 3, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's 7. So this is where our water falls. We want this to be the pillar. Alright, so as you see, with our water source right in the middle, all of our field blocks are getting hydrated. Well, the only problem that we have to worry about is when we are planting seeds, if you drop from one down, it'll erase our block. Just have to be aware. And pods all can't be tilled. And there we go. All we have to do is plant our crops and let them grow. Aesthetically, does that look more better? More better. That, anyway. I think I have to swap out all of my dirt blocks here. Because we made the tilled ground, it gives that little sliver. And that's gonna bother me. That little floating bit. Very, very much bother. And there it is. Our first casualty. Taken out by me falling off a ledge. Alright, so we're going to let our crops grow in a line like this. Because if you alternate crops, they give each other, they give a boost. And they will grow faster than if you just put a solid block of the same crop. So we'll let this start up, because over here is where we are going to have our redstone. And so what we need is the water to be a block higher than our garden block. So the water needs to start from up here. Our sticky pistons are here. The block, when it's pushed up, it is blocking it. So our sticky pistons. Again, math. Okay, so crops are in. They're growing. We have our loading area for water. However, our pistons are not activated. So what we're going to do is get our redstone line connected. And of course, I don't have that. Okay, so we have all of our pistons. We need to power those. So we add the magical redstone dust, and with that, a lever. So when we power the lever on, all of our redstone, and as you can see, it gets darker. So redstone can only travel so far before we need to add another device that can stretch the power farther. So that way we can have our switch all the way at the front of the farm. But as you can see, our block here are now up. So if we fill this with water, we have a water trough. And so these are all water source blocks. So now when we flick our lever, these go down, water pushes all of our items all the way down into our hoppers. So it looks like a couple items get stuck. Or they slow down on each step. So we just have to be aware of that. And simple as this. And the water disappears. Of those items get filtered into this chest here. So you can see all of these hoppers, they all have picked up items. And they all get passed along into the chest. So now all we have to do is connect our switch line all the way over here. So it's as simple as hitting our switch over here and letting that water flow all the way down to us. And then all we have to do is collect. For this to work, we need what is called repeaters, because that will repeat the signal that we need. It'll repeat the full strength of signal. Alright, so we found the end of the signal. As you can see right here, the signal no longer has any power. So what we need to do is add what's called a redstone repeater. That's gonna have to go on this block. And you have to be facing a certain way as well. So we have to want the signal to go that way. And once again, full strength. So I'll continue this on to the back side of this. Good to go. Alright, so partial harvest. Not too bad. So now it's almost time to try out a full harvest. We flip the switch, and look at that. Full crop harvest coming at us. Just amazing. Oh, one item up there lost. Piece of wheat. And our hoppers are full. So I emptied out the chest before this harvest. Oh, looks like we have everything. Okay, friends. Here we go. Two stacks of potatoes. And almost 4 full stacks of carrots. So let's get our potatoes planted. Well, there we go, mine fellow crafters. We've got ourselves a pretty sweet farm. I think anyway, but you've got to drop me a comment and let me know what you think. Let me know, how do you think this farm works? Do you like it? Do you want to try it out? Let me know if it works for you as well. Until next time, I'm your buddy Johnny Ops, and I will see you around.